A very good evening and welcome to the news tonight. Your one stop for the day's top stories from India and across the world. I'm Tracy Shilshi. Let's start the show with the headlines. The Finance Minister calls GST revolutionary as Lok Sabha starts discussing the landmark bills, assures the House new tax will not have any inflationary impact. House passes all 4 bills. Rajya Sabha passes finance bill with amendments amid uproar over delay in filling up vacancies in statutory commissions. Separatists enforce a shutdown in Kashmir to protest the killing of civilians in the Budgam encounter on Tuesday. Government deploys extra forces in sensitive areas. Uproar over cricketer MS Dhoni's personal details being leaked by Aadhaar agency. Law Minister promises action against the accused agency. And US President Donald Trump signs the executive order to undo Obama's climate change regulations, the biggest of which requires states to cut carbon emissions. Let's start with Parliament proceedings. The landmark GST bills have been passed by Lok Sabha. During the debate on the 4 bills introduced earlier by the Finance Minister, Arun Jaitley said that GST implementation will make goods cheaper and ensure free flow of goods and services. He also called it a revolutionary bill that will benefit every section of the society. He reassured the House that the bill won't have any inflationary impact. Calling the move a blow to India's federal structure, the opposition alleged that GST is against the taxpayer and will promote corruption and price rise. Lok Sabha began debating the 4 GST bills on Wednesday. Calling the goods and services tax a revolutionary move, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said it will benefit all. Jaitley added that GST compensation law allows for creation of a corpus to compensate states for any loss of revenue in the first 5 years of rollout. He also said the tax rates will be kept at current levels so as not to have any inflationary impact.
और ये compensation fund उन राज्यों को मिल जाएगा जिस राज्य को कोई नुकसान होता है। 5 वर्ष तक ये सेस की व्यवस्था हम लोगों ने रखी है। एक सुझाव ये था कि इसको हम टैक्स के रूप में लाएं, लेकिन अगर टैक्स के रूप में लाते तो ये जीएसटी काउंसिल ने डिस्कस किया तो उपभोक्ता के ऊपर इसका बहुत असर पड़ता। आज तो वो लग्जरी कार पे 40% दे रहा है या सिगरेट पे 65% दे रहा है, तो उसका एक हिस्सा हम लोगों ने सेस के रूप में बांध लिया और मौजूदा कीमतें रहेंगी, इन्फ्लेशनरी इंपैक्ट नहीं होगा।
Earlier, the opposition slammed several provisions of the GST bills. Congress MP Veerappa Moily called it a blow to India's federal structure and a move against taxpayers. TMC's Kalyan Banerjee said that financial autonomy of the states should be protected. AIDMK and BJD too expressed their apprehensions.
This will never be a game changer.
Yes, thanks.
It's only a baby step.
Yes.
And the liability linkages provisions are extremely bad.
Thanks.
There is no provision with the anti-inflationary. The GSTs have been withdrawn in many other countries because of the anti-profiteering, and profiteering is also because of the inflationary measure. I'm afraid that I'm cautioning because tomorrow same fate should not come to India.
There are many challenges for its successful implementation, sir. These are including the getting acceptance from all the stakeholders, the states concerned, the union territories, and most importantly, from the traders and small industry sectors, sir.
These reforms, there are complexities there. State and center together in a federal polity must take appropriate quantum of time which will be sustainable and successful.
Will the prices come down after implementation of this law? That is the basic thing which our people want to know. Therefore, the expectation that has been created because of GST, one nation, one tax, one product, the expectation has grown to the level of the sky. But let there be little bit of caution. It is illusory.
CPIM's Mohammad Salim said that this will lead to a greater financial chasm between rural and urban India. SP Chief Mulayam Singh Yadav reminded the government to fulfill promises made to the people. NCP Supriya Sule objected to the all-powerful GST Council.
लेकिन ये धीरे-धीरे आप टैक्स रेट बढ़ाने के नाम पर और वो टैक्स कलेक्शन के नाम बारे में जो है खेती को और कृषि को ये डेफिनेशन के नाम पर आप उसको अंदर में लाने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, जो मेरे लिए मैं समझता हूं हमारे तरह देश के लिए ऐसे ही कृषि में समस्या है, ऐसे ही कृषि पिछड़ रहे हैं।
चाहे जितने आप एक्ट तो विधेयक लाइए, जब तक किसान संपन्न नहीं होगा देश संपन्न नहीं होगा, ना आपकी मात्रा।
We are giving all these powers, which are parliamentary powers, to the council. So the powers are not with the state, they are not with the center, but finest legislations which are related to the nation.
The government has to ensure that it gets Parliament's approval for all 4 bills by the 12th of April to be able to meet the July 1st launch date. With Ravindra Singh, Pranav Goswami's report for Rajya Sabha TV. Rajya Sabha on Wednesday returned the finance bill to Lok Sabha with amendments. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley responded to concerns raised by opposition parties regarding provisions in the bill. The biggest of them being changes to the IT Act, which will now allow the Income Tax Department to not disclose the reason for carrying out an IT raid. The opposition has objected to these amendments, saying that it is a clear indication that Inspector Raj is returning. The Finance Minister, however, defended the move.
So the entire amendment is, if tomorrow a court asks us, Income Tax Department always gives it to the court. This is the reason why we search the man, if the court wants to be satisfied. It's not held back from the court. But in the tax appeal proceedings, nobody will ask for this note. This is not held back from courts. It's a protection as far as information with regard to offences is concerned. It's in the nature of that whistleblower protection, the nature of the information, and I am surprised that what is intended against an economic offender and to protect a whistleblower should be so made into a human rights issue.
Rajya Sabha may take up the discussion on delay in filling vacancies in statutory commissions for SCs, STs, backward classes and minorities on Thursday. For the 3rd day in a row, the issue was raised by opposition members in the upper house on Wednesday.
As the House met for the day, Samajwadi Party leader Ram Gopal Yadav once again raised the issue of delay in filling up of vacancies in statutory commissions. He also tendered a notice under Rule 267 seeking setting aside of business of the day to take up the discussion on the issue.
राम गोपाल जी ये ठीक है, आपने दिया है 267, लेकिन
इस पर चर्चा कराने के लिए टाइम तो
आप सुनिए. Okay, I understood.
BSP leader Mayawati also demanded reconstitution of the commissions and accused the government of making them ineffective.
ST, OBC और माइनॉरिटीज कमीशन का जो मामला है, जिसको इन्होंने केंद्र की सरकार ने निष्प्रभावी बना दिया है पूरे तौर से,
वही इसके बारे में बोला डिस्कशन होना है.
आप गंभीरता से लीजिए और इसको अल्पकालीन चर्चा से काम नहीं चलेगा. सरकार को जवाब देना होगा, ठोस जवाब देना होगा. सरकार को बताना होगा कि ये जो कमीशन है तो इनको इन्होंने निष्प्रभावी क्यों बनाया हुआ है, अभी तक इनके पद खाली क्यों पड़े हुए हैं.
The chair, however, disallowed the opposition notice, urging members to give notice for a short duration discussion.
Misra ji also had given notice, and on behalf of Misra ji, Kumari Mayawati also raised this issue. From this side also Punia raised this issue. I know that. But then what I said is, I said very clearly that 267 notice is not admitted, rejected. However, if you want, give another notice.
Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi said the government was ready to reply to any discussion on the issue and reiterated that the vacancies could not be filled up as the model code of conduct for assembly elections was in force.
माननीय राम गोपाल जी ने कहा है कि इस पर जो है वो इस मुद्दे पर चर्चा हो, इस मुद्दे पे जो है विस्तार से, तो हम हर चीज का जवाब देने को तैयार हैं और उस पे जो इस संबंध में नियमों के तहत जो नोटिस देंगे और वो चेयर को तय करना है, चेयर तय करे, उसमें नियमों के तहत चर्चा होनी है, उसमें हम लोग जवाब देने को तैयार हैं.
The opposition has been accusing the government of weakening the constitutional bodies. The government denies all charges and has assured the House of filling up the vacancies soon. The stalemate had disrupted proceedings of the House on Monday and washed out proceedings on Tuesday as well. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
As drought-hit Tamil Nadu farmers continue to protest in the national capital, members cutting across party lines expressed concern over farmers' distress in the upper house on Wednesday. Responding to the concerns, the government assured that coverage of crop insurance was being increased, but gave no assurance on loan waiver for farmers in the state. As Tamil Nadu battles with the worst ever drought in the state in 140 years, with a 62% deficit rainfall, the upper house reiterated the demands of the state's drought-hit farmers on Wednesday. Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman sought to allay the concerns of the members and asserted that 1,000 crore rupees have been released for disaster management. She also stressed that senior ministers of the government met delegations from Tamil Nadu on the distress faced by the farmers in the state.
I have a complete list of how much has been released by Government of India for Tamil Nadu. There has not been a denial of what has to be given. In fact, just one point I would like to draw your attention. In 2015-16, SDRF, NDRF, the National Disaster Relief monies which have to go to Tamil Nadu, 1,000 crores have been released as against the allocation under SDR. Point that I want to give here in front of all the members is the Government of India has been seeing all the delegation, whether it is of Neduvasal or for the farmers' agitation.
Earlier raising the issue through a zero-hour mention, Tiruchi Shiva of the DMK said that 200 farmers have committed suicide. He also demanded constitution of the Kaveri Management Board for water management and dispersal of insurance claims. Other members also demanded a waiver on crop loans.
Sir, what we request is constitution of Kaveri Management Board and linking of rivers are very essential. Apart from that, waiver of loans is the foremost, and the banks are taking very stringent actions, strangling the already suffering farmers to repay the loans which they have already got. So instructions have to be given by the government to the banks that the farmers should not be squeezed to repay the loan.
They are agitating for more than 2 weeks, and they have met the president, they have met the finance minister, they have met the agriculture minister, and several MPs have met them. But their plight continues. They are asking for loan waiver. I make a concrete proposal to the government. Government can take a stand on loan waiver for the farmers.
Through you, I am appealing. You can waive the NPAs for rich corporates, but you can't waive loans for these poor farmers who are committing suicide. This is something that is not acceptable. And it's only a fraction of what you're waiving to the rich people. You waive this and save our Annadata, save Indian agriculture and Indian farmers. Otherwise, there's no future for my country, sir.
The crisis in the agriculture sector in Tamil Nadu has reached mammoth proportions. Reports claim that since October last year, at least 2 farmers commit suicide every day. Since 14th of March, a group of 80-odd farmers from Tamil Nadu have been protesting at Jantar Mantar in Delhi, demanding financial relief as they've lost their crops and savings in the ongoing drought in the state. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV. Now on to other news. In Kashmir Valley, which has been tense since 3 youngsters were killed in the Budgam encounter on Tuesday, is witnessing a complete shutdown today. Separatist leaders call for the shutdown to protest against the civilian casualties. Shops, public transport and other businesses along with educational institutions remain closed in Srinagar and elsewhere in the valley.
Daily life was paralyzed in Kashmir on Wednesday following a shutdown called by separatist leaders to protest against the death of 3 civilians during anti-militancy operation in Budgam district on Tuesday. Extra forces have also been deployed in sensitive areas of the Kashmir Valley.
कश्मीर में हिंसा की घटनाएं को पाकिस्तान आतंकियों को भेजकर बढ़ाता है, वहां के नौजवानों को बहका कर भी पत्थरबाजी करने के लिए भी प्रोत्साहन देता है.
In view of the situation, most shops, business establishments and fuel stations remain shut. Educational institutions were also closed. Several universities also postponed their scheduled examinations. While claiming Kashmir to be an integral part of India, opposition parties feel that the government must take strict action against separatists.
मुज़ाकरात मतलब रूबरू बातचीत, इसके अलावा और कोई रास्ता नहीं है मसले का हल निकालने के लिए। बीजेपी चाहती है कि मसले को आप छिपा दो, कि उस पर एक नकाब लगा दो और कि चला जाएगा। ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता है।
Obviously, there is the hand of terrorists from Pakistan, trained by Pakistan, but equally, there is an unrest in the valley. Those who take the law into their own hands, like stone pelters, need of course to be contained. But the state also needs to take action in order to restore normalcy.
कश्मीर हिंदुस्तान का अभिन्न अंग है। पाकिस्तान जनता को भड़काकर अगर इस रूप को देकर ये सोचे कि हम कश्मीर पर कब्जा कर लेंगे, कश्मीर हमारा पाकिस्तान का हिस्सा, ये कभी संभव नहीं होगा। इसके लिए चाहे जितनी कठोर कार्रवाई करनी पड़े, हिंदुस्तान सरकार को कठोर कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए।
Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti also condemned the deaths and said it was painful to see young boys losing their lives. Kashmir has witnessed at least 3 militant attacks in the last 3 days. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
2 days after the attack on African nationals in Greater Noida, a young Kenyan woman was reportedly attacked on Wednesday. 25-year-old Maria Burendi alleged in fact that she was beaten up while traveling in a cab in Greater Noida. According to police, the incident took place during wee hours when she was going to Delhi from Greater Noida. She was taken to a hospital for a medical examination where doctors confirmed the possibility of an assault with abrasions on her hands. A case has been registered by the police. Gautam Budh Nagar SSP Dharmender Singh has said that 4 to 5 miscreants were involved in the attack and the driver of the cab fled the spot. This is the third such attack against Africans in Greater Noida since Sunday. Last week, a 17-year-old boy died of a cardiac arrest following suspected drug overdose. His friends and relatives blamed African nationals, saying that they had supplied him with the drugs. Cricketer Mahendra Singh Dhoni's personal details were leaked on Twitter by the outsourcing agency enrolling details, in fact, for Aadhaar numbers on Tuesday. The issue escalated after Dhoni's wife expressed displeasure to the law minister on the issue. Here are the details.
The centre, facing questions over privacy loopholes in Aadhaar enrolment, faced embarrassment after cricketer Mahendra Singh Dhoni's Aadhaar details were leaked on Twitter on Tuesday. Dhoni's Aadhaar registration form was made public by the government agency CSC e-Governance, which handles Aadhaar registrations. Tweets included a photograph of the cricketer with a CSC representative and another of his personal details on what appeared to be the Aadhaar website. The matter was brought to light by Sakshi Dhoni on Tuesday by tagging Union Minister of Information Technology Ravi Shankar Prasad in a series of tweets. The tweet with the information was later removed after Prasad promised to take action in the matter.
जो मैंने मालूम किया है कि आधार बनाने वाला उनके साथ आधार की फोटो खिंचवाकर बहुत उत्साहित हो गया और जहां तक मैंने जानकारी प्राप्त की पर्सनल डिटेल को बाहर नहीं किया गया है, लेकिन फिर भी मैंने उनकी पत्नी को आश्वस्त किया है कि इस बात का पूरा ध्यान रखा जाएगा। आधार बिल्कुल सुरक्षित है, सबके डिटेल बाहर नहीं जा सकते।
The Unique Identification Authority of India has blacklisted Village Level Entrepreneur, the entity which enrolled Dhoni, for leaking his Aadhaar receipt for 10 years. UIDAI has also ordered an inquiry to determine any possible involvement of others and take action as per the Aadhaar Act. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
And now here are more updates from across the country and nationwide. The Delhi High Court on Wednesday dismissed a plea by the Yogendra Yadav-led Swaraj India Party challenging the Delhi Election Commission's denial of a common symbol to its candidates for the upcoming civic polls. The poll panel told the Apex Court that it had no power to allot a common symbol to a registered but unrecognized party. According to the Commission, for a common symbol, a party has to get 6% of the votes or have at least 2 legislators. The Supreme Court has directed the installation of CCTV cameras without audio inside lower courts in at least 2 districts in every state and union territory within the next 3 months. The order came after several rounds of discussions between the central government and the judiciary. However, the footage from these videos will not be open for public access under the RTI Act. The much-hyped review of VIP security by Captain Amrinder Singh-led Punjab government has been put on hold till further orders. Earlier, the government had told its officers to prepare a list of VIPs and trim their security cover. It has been believed that the latest decision comes in the wake of political pressure. With that, a quick break here. We'll be back with more news in a bit. Stay with us.
Chopper is the ancient version of Indian snakes and ladders. This intriguing game was popular among the old, the young and the rulers as well. The chopper has its origin in the Jain philosophy. It tells the story of virtue, symbolized by the ladders, rewarded, while the vices shown by the snakes are punished. Each square, in turn, also narrates some message of wisdom.
Goa and Manipur looked like a stolen kingdom, as what the Congress says.
Opportunity was everybody, with the Congress party and with the BJP. We take the advantage of the opportunity.
There was some kind of pressure on BJP to declare Yogi Adityanath as the CM.
BJP is a political party. हम कोई साधु संत नहीं है. We have to calculate the political equations.
There could be a front staging of issues like cow protection, love jihad, forced religious conversion.
Let us wait and watch. Why are we blaming? It is the story of image versus reality.
Watch To The Point with Union Minister Nitin Gadkari only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. Let's get to some international news now. And US President Donald Trump signed an executive order on Tuesday to undo a slew of Obama-era climate change regulations that his administration says is hobbling oil drillers and coal miners. The decree's main target is former President Barack Obama's Clean Power Plan that required states to slash carbon emissions from power plants. Here's more.
US President Donald Trump on Tuesday signed an executive order rolling back Obama-era rules aimed at curbing climate change. The president said this would put an end to the war on coal and job-killing regulations. During the campaign, Trump vowed to pull the US out of the Paris climate deal agreed in December 2015.
Today I'm taking bold action to follow through on that promise. My administration is putting an end to the war on coal. Going to have clean coal, really clean coal. With today's executive action, I am taking historic steps to lift the restrictions on American energy, to reverse government intrusion, and to cancel job-killing regulations.
The Energy Independence Executive Order suspends more than half a dozen measures enacted by his predecessor and boosts fossil fuels. Trump takes a very different approach to the environment from Obama. The former president argued that climate change was real and cannot be ignored. Among the initiatives now withdrawn is the Clean Power Plan, which required states to slash carbon emissions to meet US commitments under the Paris Accord. The regulation has been unpopular in Republican-run states where it has been subject to legal challenges, especially from businesses that rely on burning oil, coal and gas. The Trump administration says that scrapping the plan will put people to work and reduce America's reliance on imported fuel.
This will allow the EPA to focus on its primary mission of protecting our air and protecting our water. Together we are going to start a new energy revolution, one that celebrates American production on American soil. We want to make our goods here instead of shipping them in from other countries all over the world. They ship in, take the Americans' money, take the money, go home, take our jobs, take our companies. No longer, folks, no longer. We believe in those really magnificent words, made in the USA.
Business groups have praised the Trump administration's move, but environmental campaigners have condemned it. Outside the White House, a few hundred protesters gathered to vent their displeasure at the executive order.
It's a grab bag of terrible ideas by the fossil fuel industry, top to bottom, designed to take us backward on progress on climate, not forward, at the very time when we and the world need to be moving forward.
Meanwhile, China said it is still committed to the Paris Climate Change Accord. The Chinese Foreign Ministry said climate change was a common challenge for everyone and the Paris Agreement was a landmark that came about with the hard work of the international community.
我们还是觉得巴黎协定来之不易，包括中美双方在内的国际社会为此凝聚了高度的共识，做出了共同的努力，也做出了积极的贡献。 我们还是主张各方都应当顺应潮流，抓住机遇，兑现承诺，切实采取。
The Paris Agreement seeks to phase out net greenhouse gas emissions by the second half of the century and limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Each country has put forward national plans to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
And here are some more international news updates in Global Buzz. Pound sterling slipped to an 8-day low against the dollar and euro on Wednesday as investors waited the formal trigger for Britain's departure from the European Union. The pound has fallen to as low as 1.2377 to a US dollar in Asian trading. According to analysts, the real driver for sterling will be how negotiations with the EU play out and the health of the British economy going forward. China and the Philippines will hold direct talks on the maritime dispute in May. This comes after President Rodrigo Duterte sought stronger economic ties with Beijing. Last year, a UN-backed international tribunal rejected Beijing's claims to most of South China Sea, including the disputed areas close to the coast of its neighbors. The Chinese government has detained a Taiwanese pro-democracy activist and is investigating him on suspicion of pursuing activities harmful to national security. The Taiwanese government said that Li Ming-che was in good health but gave no information about where he was being held. Li disappeared after clearing immigration on the 19th of March in the Chinese territory of Macau. A US court has dismissed a lawsuit that challenged the lottery system for determining successful applicants of H-1B visas. The ruling means that there will be no change in the H-1B visa issuance process for the fiscal 2018, which begins on the 3rd of April. As a result, successful H-1B visa applicants are expected to be determined by the US Citizenship and Immigration Services through a lottery system. That's all we have for you in the news tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.